Yo, what's going on? It's your man Ryan Righteous of the Trackstarz. We are here for another installment of the Independent Artist Spotlight. I got my man A.Brodie on the line. A.Brodie, what's going on?
What's going on, big brother? Everything's good.
Man,
I woke up with my right.
I'm turned up, man. We got so much going on in Atlanta, man. Atlanta is a scene for CHH, man. How's everything with you?
Everything's good. Everything's coming along.
Now I
I'm the
got a
baby
shout.
in the game.
You said what now?
I say I'm a baby in the game,
Oh
but
man.
everything coming. God is working wonders.
Oh, that's no problem, man. I gotta shout you out, man. I was actually down in Duval County about a month ago at Murray Hill Theater.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so when you sent me some videos, man, of you turning up there, I was just like, oh yeah, yeah, this is definitely somebody I gotta rock with.
yes, sir. I appreciate that. I rock with y'all all the way. I love everything y'all doing for CHH. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I
Thank
support it. I stand
Thank you,
by.
man. Thank you, man. That is such a blessing to hear, man. Like I was so humbled, to get your email, man, about you just wanting to get information about how you could get onto the show. And one of the things that stood out in my mind, and I was like, "Thank you, Jesus," because I love to be able to like feel that discernment, that divine intervention that He places in all of our lives, where you were just like I like to get with Trackstarz, and I'm hoping that sooner rather than later. And here we are, a day later, man, and we chopping it up.
God is good. I
Awesome,
feel
man.
good. I'm feeling great. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. So tell us, man, what's going on with the music ministry, man? How is A.Brodie doing, man? What's going on with you?
Right now, we on the first leg of everything. Humble beginnings. We doing outreach, going in places that some people don't want to go. The roughest of neighborhoods we can go to these people that need Jesus. We going. We're not catering to the people at church, catering to those people on the fence. So we've been doing a lot of outreach as of late. But
Okay.
things are starting to turn around.
When you say we, are you talking about like you with the crew? Like, is there a bunch of artists that you work with already, or is this like just you talking about the outreach of the church?
Talking about me and my wife. My church stands behind me. I go to Church 320, the Honorable Bishop Stanley Williams. They back me 100%. They're the ones that introduced me into the music scene, far as CHH scene. On June 13th, they introduced me to Murray Hill, and they brought me out. They stand behind me. So yeah, when I say we, my church family and my family.
That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing, man. You got a full working machine going on over there, man. I had a chance to speak with your wife, man, who's doing some real hard work for you in the background, man. So shouts out to her and God bless her and you both, man, for what you all are doing.
Yes, sir. She's awesome, man. Without her, without God first, and my wife, I don't know if I'd be sitting here talking to you, man. Like she keeps me focused. You know how this industry is. You
Oh,
get
dude.
you're up and down sometimes. You're like, oh, am I doing the right thing, Lord? Am I at the right destination B, or am I going the right way? Talk to me. Sometimes you go through your dry spells. I just thank God for her because she's been standing with me throughout all the storms. So it's been a phenomenal ride so far.
Man, that's awesome, man. You can't hear that enough, man. Like having good, godly women stand beside us, man, and tell us like to keep going and pushing when we want to give up the most, man. I go through that probably on a daily basis, if not, like multiple times in a day, man. So that is so great to have that support, man. I love it. I love hearing it.
And that's what we need, man. We need what you just said, like basically transparency in the body of Christ. But we'll get to that later. I know you got the questions coming up for me.
Yeah, you mentioned you were a babe in the game, man, but you really don't seem like it, man. Like I've looked at your stuff, man. You know how to turn up on stage, you know how to perform, you know how to get an audience going. Like what are some things that you've done that have been successful for you that you can pass on to the next person?
First of all, I give God all the glory for that. That's not me, that's Him. He let me manage my talent. Um, I've been doing this for 15 years, actually, secular. I just didn't
Oh,
know how
wow.
to handle my business. Um, what I get, the only advice I can give to people is just be true to who you are. A lot of people, especially the youth, that's under us, and a a little bit above us, they don't know how to be themselves. They think they have to be this person, this persona that they see, or those five famous people they see, or famous rappers they see on TV. They feel like they got to be them or get what they get what they have. But God gives us riches with no sorrow. So I know who I am as an artist. So I take that. If they ask me for any advice, it's gonna be very simple. It's gonna go back to the book. You know, we gotta get the blueprint from the man upstairs. That's
Man,
it.
that's awesome, man. So, what are some of your thoughts about CHH, man, and where we are right now? Do you think we're in a good place, or would you like to see some things changed?
CHH is in a good place. You got artists trying to jump over that fence, secular fence, and they trying to come over here as being accepted worldwide. Thanks to the big homie Lecrae, even though he wasn't the first person to break hip hop CHH wide open. But he's definitely the highlight right now. He's doing major things, especially that 116 movement. Shout outs to them, Reach Records. They're dope. That's a
Yeah.
label I like to be on. But they doing a phenomenal job. What I want from CHH though is more transparency.
Mm,
Um, Sometimes I listen to this music, man. It just sounds too familiar.
yeah.
Some of it's predictable, and some of it I don't know if they're saved or not. I need to know.
Well, what's your story of salvation?
My story of salvation. Oh, as of recently, the last 2 years, I'll
At,
give it to you.
yeah, when you got saved.
I got saved years ago when I was little, like
Okay.
10 years old. But we only did what our mothers told us to do.
Yeah.
I really think I was religious up until 2 years ago. Um, but I'll speed all the way up to 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I lost my mind. Like basically, just out there doing whatever. When I say I have the strongest wife for her to endure the storm without getting too deep into it, I went out there on the ledge, jumped in the sea with the sharks, and she gave me an ultimatum. She said, "If you want your family, excuse me," she said, "If you want your family, we need to get back with God." And I was like, that's no problem. I'm ready to go. When we going? I basically got myself together 2 years ago and built a relationship with God. I never had a relationship with God. I was
Oh,
always
wow.
void, just fighting and tussling. My mother prayed for me when I was like 13 years old. I remember it was 108 Kimball Terrace, Granny Park Projects in Norfolk, Virginia. She told me I would be preaching to the masses, and the way I would deliver my message would be through music. I would influence my generation. Sorry about that.
Hmm.
I would influence my generation, and I thought it was a curse because everything that didn't work, I took it back to that prayer, and it just bothered me, and I would just buck the system. I didn't want to have anything to do with God for years and years and years. I would be fickle. I'd be hot and cold. I mean, or lukewarm, as he would say. And
Hmm.
as of 2 years ago, it just hit me. It's like, all right, I'm tired of running. I give up. I surrendered. I surrendered to God, and God just saved my whole family. My whole family is doing miraculous. Um, we all in church. We all in different auxiliaries in church, and that's my story. Just I built that relationship with God. I actually know who He is now, instead of being spooky about it, or listen to what my mother said, my aunt said, my grandma said. I know God for myself now. I know that He found me in my mess, and you're not qualified unless you have a mess. So I'm very
Man, that's awesome, man. I love hearing that, man. I think that's one of the things that um a lot of people miss when they're listening to music, man, is they don't get to know the artist, man. They get so in love with the beat and the lyrics can overtake them. But it's important for them to know where their favorite artists are coming from, like the place of brokenness, the place of pain, and how God is a restorer. I don't think
yes,
that we
sir.
talk about that enough, man. God is a restorer of all things. And so I really like the fact that we're able to sit down one another and just kind of like really talk about, okay, well, this is my heart. Let me share it with you. Let me tell you why I'm doing music and why I'm doing ministry. Like you mentioned that you were doing secular music for a long time. Did you get anywhere with that? Is there a difference that you see between the secular realm of your approach and where you are right now with CHH?
It's much fluent and easier doing what I'm doing because it's genuine and it's what I always wanted to do. I just was being hard, a knucklehead about it. But I'm not gonna be spooky because all music is not the devil.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I had a message. I always felt like I was the Tupac sparked my mind. That's who I came up on, Tupac. I
Hmm.
love Tupac, even though sometimes he contradicted himself. We all do. But
Yeah.
overall, he was a prophet, man. He had something to say. I didn't agree with everything he said. Now that I'm wiser, but it was very. I came up under him. Didn't really because I focused on the music. I didn't understand the business. I didn't understand the business at all, and that's where I lost love for it on that side of the road. All the time, doing the beats, making music, writing songs, but it never went anywhere. I thought the other guy was handling business, and he wasn't. I'm not going to poke fingers at him because he invested a lot of money in me at an early age, $15,000 at a studio. Kind
Mm.
of lied. I told him I know how to work Pro Tools. I ain't know how to work anything. He went on vacation for 2 weeks from Vegas, and I came back, and I at least know how to push record. So that's how my music career started, actually. So I would never down what happened in the past, but secular music, it really didn't never work for me. I go to a certain point, meet with certain label heads, and then nothing would happen. Get discouraged, get down. I got down a lot. I was real hard on myself,
Mm.
always trying to avoid, never thinking I was good enough, or think I was good enough until I heard somebody better than me.
Right.
So
Right.
winning. But gospel, hip hop, Christian hip hop is just fluent. I said, stop being all deep. Just tell people who you are. Let them in. Not you can't let some of these church folks all the way in because they want to mess. They want to keep poking their finger at you, see what you gonna react the other way. But
Right. So
hip hop,
if you
go ahead.
weren't planning on staying the independent route, which label or what label do you see yourself possibly signing with?
Man, that's a tricky question. Reach Records, they just doing it all. They
Yeah.
they have it on lockdown. It's not everything's coming through them. I don't really know no other labels.
Yeah.
I'm really not focused on it. It's like if it whatever happens is going to happen with it. But Reach Records, to answer your question, will be the only label.
I
Um,
like to ask that question because I think that if someone from Reach is listening and they see this, then they're like, "Oh, okay, he's interested." You never know that they might be looking at you like that. So I like to ask that question. It does trip a lot of people up, but I do like to ask that question. So we understand like, okay, now if somebody were to pick up a Brody project, who would they say, or who would you say you might remind them of in the secular realm? Because we have a motto with Trackstarz when we do line for line. We always
yeah,
say, if you like this artist and you're a Christian, you should love this artist because he's got similar talents to the artist you like, and he's also spitting the message and bringing you the delivery of Jesus Christ. So, who would you say, a Brody?
I got you. I mean, you already probably had it in your head already. It's gonna be I'm the 50 Cent of gospel, baby.
I was thinking it. I was thinking it. I was watching one of your videos and I was just like, you know what? Because one of the things that I like to do is we like to suggest artists for line to DJ Jeremiah so that he can, look for people and see how much catalog music they have. So if he can match them up, he can. So that's why I asked that question, man, because I really wanted to know. I
Yeah.
really wanted to
Uh,
know.
for the record, track stars and the world, everybody watching this broadcast, 50 Cent sounds like me. He
There
just
you
got more.
go. There you go. There you go. It's funny you say that, man. Because when we first started, I was like, when you first called me, I was like, you sound like somebody, but I can't put my finger on it until you said it. I was like, oh, okay, 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 okay. That's what's up. So, what are some things that you're going to be doing 6 months down the line, or that you hope to be doing 6 months down the line?
Okay, like we talked about, first one, I'm headlining. I finally headlined after All This Word, Mary Hill, on
Uh-huh.
November 20th. That's my album release and my video release for my single Agape Love.
Okay.
Which I'm going to be flooding you guys with new music and everything.
Please do.
Got the homies. So I got to look out for the home team.
Yeah, please do.
I have a show on September 30th at a place called Latitude 30s here. But overall, I'm gonna continue to be doing a bunch of outreach until I
Okay.
get the big bang. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I understand that. I understand.
My plans are to end up on a tour. I've been trying to get on all these tours. Any tour you can think of, I've been trying to get on. But I'm the rookie. They treat me like the rookie. I got to get my weight up.
Well,
So,
yeah, you got to climb, man. You got to climb. I mean, we're in the same boat. Trackstarz music has been around for about Trackstarz, the brand has been around for 8 years. So the music has been around for about 5. And you know, we go to Flavor Fest and our artists perform and things like that. But the whole big push of it all, it really comes off of, you know, how many albums you have, how much product you have out there, and who knows who you are. So yeah, man, just keep grinding it and you'll definitely get there. You definitely had a talent, man. Don't let anybody tell you you don't, because you do. You definitely had a talent to get your foot in any door, I believe.
I'm humbled, man. I appreciate that, especially coming from you, my brother.
Oh
I,
man, come on.
a
It's
lot.
so hard for me to take that, man, because you know I can remember doing Trackstarz, man, in the basement and just having my mom call me up and say, "Hey, the show was good." And now that God has blessed us to have this platform, man. I still giggle a little bit when somebody says something. Um,
Hey, funny. My
yeah,
mother used to. I had a studio in my house. My mother, she wasn't like your mother. At least you got a call. My mother unplugged everything. Like, y'all gotta go, because we stay up to 24 hours, man. She unplugged everything. My mother never even gave me a dime for a keyboard, but you want to plug it and throw it.
man. Now, man. So yeah, man. We just whenever we hear it, man, it's so hard to take, man. I had to interview an intern that wanted to work at our studio, and when I went to lunch with him and his mom, man, he was just sitting there. He was staring at me, and I was kind of like, you know, you feel like you got food in your teeth or something. And he was just like, I just can't believe I'm sitting next to Ryan Righteous, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? Like my wife didn't give me any kind of credit for being, you know, Ryan Righteous. I'm just Ryan at the end of the day. So, you know, I do take all humility, man, when people tell us that they listen to the show and that they support the show and they like the show. Because I'm like, man, we were just 3 dudes trying to voice our opinion about something, and finally somebody decided they wanted to listen, and we just appreciate God for upping the platform for us.
But what you're doing is you're doing what God told you to do and led you to do, the vision that He showed you. So He giving you all the desires of your heart. So when people tell you stuff like I just told you, man, take that.
Yeah, man. Would you believe, man? I've been doing this since I was 12 years old, man. This has been a dream of mine. Radio has always been in my passion, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that when we chop it up. You know, post interview. But what I really want to ask you, man, is what are some things that the Christian hip hop distributors like ourselves and Jam the Hype and Rapzilla, Z180 and HolyCulture.net, Rep the King Mag, what are some things that we can do that can help independent artists that you already don't think we're doing or haven't seen us do?
Oh, I only can talk personally. Just educate them on,
Okay.
show them the avenues where they need to go. You know, when you can discern when somebody's hungry and they're gonna go the extra mile. Like me, I'm gonna go knock on every door until you open it.
Okay. And last thing you got to do for me, man, you got to give me your best 16 written or something that you can come off the dome with.
All right. I used to scribble in my pad and muzzle up my screams. Devil in my ear trying to interrupt my dreams. We living in the world, nothing really what it seems. Just some radical regimes, gunfire, triple beams. A lot of lost souls who depending on the king, locked down in the bing or bed in the sling. And they don't really know nobody with a Bugatti. Run up on you, shotty, put some holes in your body for it. Lord, Put the pedal to the metal, Floyd. Pacquiao didn't wake to sleep in John Floyd. I'm quite annoyed with the glitz and the glamour, cause the spotlight always shine bright on the Bama. Infatuated with hammers, fast cars and cameras, the images they feeding to these kids wearing Pampers. Never said that I was shot. Don't protect me from the devil, please. Gunshots. Pop, body drop, hated, tatted on his side. This guap. American areas, these gentlemen feminine, don't expect them to carry us. They living vicarious, don't let me put you on the real. They living in the house, they ain't worried about the fields. America the brashest, they mad cause we bastards. Street criminality, that's how we earned our masters. Nobody getting passes. Communists or fascists, the Klan never died. They got guns in them badges.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's a good look, man. That's a real good look, man. I think people are going to definitely dig that, man. Well, man, thank you so much, man, for sitting down and doing the Independent Artist Spotlight with your boy, man. I appreciate everything that you're doing, all the contributions you're making for CHH, man. You're doing an amazing job, man. Keep it up. Hopefully next time we'll be able to kick it down in Jacksonville with you in November on the 28th for your album release, man. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward in the flesh. You guys are awesome. I support everything you're doing. So anything y'all got going on, anything you need me to do, is now y'all triple, y'all 3, 4, 5 hours away. I can get in the car, I can get on the plane. I'm ready to do it. So anything that comes up, please remember A.Brodie.
That's what's up, man. Well, thank you so much, man. This is another Independent Artist Spotlight, man, with your boy Ryan Righteous, man, on behalf of Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. Let's get back into the field with the Trackstarz. Let go.